Hi, this is Anna Imagination with the Healing Garden. This is the Philosopher's Garden, Unbreaking You. I have a lot of different labels at the moment, and I do a lot of different projects. And I really just wanted to reflect. But when I reflect online, I feel like sometimes I feel pressure. It's pressure I put on myself. I am thinking about shit today. And I think I just need to not go live as much as I do. Definitely for my morning show. I love doing my morning show live, but everything else, I think I just need to pre-record. That way I can just... The feeling when I'm live is like I'm on display. I feel like it's a different feeling. When it's not live, when it's like this, it feels more self-reflective. Like I can take my time to really think. I don't have to worry about making eye contact. I had a massive epiphany yesterday. I've been doing this research my whole life. I've been doing this since 1995. And there was a lot of aspects to it. There was the I got to get the hell out of this place because the abuse was so atrocious. And I found something. Bottom line, I found something when I was 15. And I went, what is this? Because this is something else. And I kept pulling at it and pulling at it. And just kept like pulling this string. And the more I pulled the string, the more I discovered a bigger piece and a bigger piece. And I could not identify it until yesterday. And I've been throwing words around and using words. Oh, I'm a psychologist. I'm a philosopher. No. Boom. This is a lost science that was considered so valuable that we did not even give it name. It was so valuable that it was considered so dangerous that no one should have it. So you had to pass through a series and a process to get the information. And only then it was passed down through oral tradition. So that when the university where this was taught was destroyed, it was lost. No one had this information. This is truly the missing link. It is the subject of all subjects that ties all of the subjects together. Interdisciplinary studies is something that most people do not hear about. Interdisciplinary studies is the science and the art form of making subject cocktails. You can create subjects, put them together, and create a new subject. This actually is my mastery. My mastery is inventing and creating new subjects using interdisciplinary studies. But I found one very specific cocktail. One very, very specific cocktail that the more I brought into it, the more it grew and the more it evolved into a thing. And I went, whoa. And finally, yesterday, I stepped back and I went, this isn't psychology anymore. This stopped being psychology a long time ago. This is not philosophy. Actually, it is. But the problem is there is so much misnomer around the word philosophy that people really don't know what it means. And this, imagine philosophy. And you go in and you think it's A, and then you get to this point and you think it's B, and then you get to this point and you think it's C. That's what philosophy is. And this is at the end. And it's not until you finish this that you go, oh, we have no concept of what philosophy is. holy fucking shit, we have no clue what philosophy really is. No one has ever made it this far before. And you have to study a very specific collection of information to understand what this is. No one has done this before. Not since the 4th century. And I know now what I'm looking at, and I'm going, oh, I discovered a new science. That's what this is. I have discovered a new science. I call it perspectivology. It is literally the logic of perspective. But it is much, much more than that. In order to become a perspectivologist, you have to have the mastery in philosophy, in psychology, my psychology. I'm going to clarify this because it is not modern psychology. That's not going to give you a damn thing. It is Anna's psychology. That is what you have to study. Triadic healing. There. And then you need physics. And you need geometry. You need linguistics. You must have linguistics for this. Philosophy, psychology, physics, geometry, sociology, geometry, linguistics, geometry, calculus, and trig. And you need metaphysics, ontology, and one more, dimension theory. Now, once you have the mastery in all of these topics, now you are ready to study perspectivology. Perspectivology is the science of perspective. And it literally is everything that links us to society, to language, to psychology. But it also ties us into metaphysics, physics, and dimension theory. I guess that would be quantum physics, quantum mechanics. Ironically, chemistry does not come up very often. Geology does not come up very often. Botany does not come up very often. That surprised me. I was expecting those to come up a lot more, and they're just not. And I'm like, oh, interesting. And perspectivology literally ties these things together. And I'm just, I had this massive, I learned yesterday that people are automatons. People are automatons. I realize that the word stupid does not exist, because stupid implies that they're consciously aware, and they're not. The automaton has no clue. They never made it out. I have feelings in me that are, that's what I need to do right now. That's really what I'm doing. I am wanting and craving to journal and document about the second perspective in the U of I. And I just kind of want to be emotional right now about it, because I need to be, because all the emotions are right and we must let them ebb and flow, as we know. And I'm sad. I am sad because this has not been easy, and it's been so lonely. My greatest struggle in this was the lack of the words, and I need to grieve this. I need to grieve this. The language barrier was painful, and it makes me angry because it's just nature. But I suffered so greatly for it. And I think that's just what this is about right now, is I suffered a non-consensual surplus of isolation due to a lack of word usage. And it was not anything whatsoever to do with my ignorance or my intelligence. It had nothing to do with abuse. It was just, this is the journey. And we must suffer in order to have the appreciation. That's how it works. The purpose of suffering is to give us appreciation. And the more you appreciate something, the more you suffer from the other, or from the lack of. So believe me when I say I really appreciate the ability to communicate effectively. Because not having these words cost me a great deal. And yesterday, when I shifted into the second perspective, well, I shifted on the first, but it really took hold on the second. There's a process. I love it. I love perspective shifts. The first day is you can feel the click, and then you feel the chemicals changing and the rewiring occur. You get the lessons, the internalize, you feel the shift in perspective, you feel the priority change, you get the adjustment of, like, I really need to go through and document all of this, because there's so much of a process to it. And there's the realization, the comprehension. There's the, wow, I really appreciate X because I had a surplus of Z and a deficit of X. And as soon as you understand this, it's, well, this is learning. This is life. This is perspectivology. And everyone goes through this, but no one has defined it. And we are suffering because of perspectivology. And I suffered greatly. I suffered so much that I said, I can't do this. I have got to define this and figure it out. So I studied it. I studied my suffering. And bottom line, because we have lacked this science, everybody is suffering because we are missing this science, because we lost it in the 4th century. This science is key. And as soon as I identified it and defined it, I look back at the Roman Empire and I go, oh, that makes so much sense, because they had perspectivology. The entire Roman Empire was built on perspectivology, but it was such a refined, passionate core, vital part of their culture that was deemed so dangerous that they didn't even teach it, not through any means other than oral tradition. They hoarded the knowledge. And as a result, when they destroyed Alexandria, they lost it. And our society has been void of perspectivology since. And I'm just looking at society going, oh, wow. And that when this gets plugged back into our society, oh, balance is going to be restored. And yes, it's going to happen almost overnight. It's going to happen so fucking fast. And I'm just sitting here on all of this knowledge now. It's all in my brain. It's in pieces all over my internet. And I'm just overwhelmed. I'm exhausted. All I've done for 30 years is this science. Identify it, dig it, excavate it. I have excavated this thing. I had to invent a new psychology just to piece it together. Anna's psychology. We're going to call it Anna's psychology. I have very little named after me in all of my work. I even have the Warshak print perspective. That doesn't have my name on it. It has Warshak's name on it. And I invented it. And that's okay, because that's my ode to Rorschach. He really helped me a lot with that. But I'm sitting here going, okay, this is going to be called Anna's psychology. And it's just, yes. And I'm sitting here going, all right, I got my business plan. I know 2024 is going to be a life-changing game for me. I know it. I know what waits me this year. I can see it because it's a mathematical formula that I can see precisely into the dimension to see exactly how this chess game is going to play out, because, well, this is how I see the world. Imagine a chessboard. And the bishop is physics that moves diagonally. Actually, physics would be the queen. Physics is the queen. And she can move up, down, backwards, forwards, all around. And psychology is the knight. And the bishop, that is math, calculus, geometry. And the rook, is philosophy. And the pawn is sociology. And the king is dimension and time and location. So when I'm looking at this chessboard, I'm just going, it's just a map. And it's all mathematically equated out. It's predictable because it's on a rotation of 12. And there are different scales. It's just predictable choreography. It's choreographed. You just need to be able to see how all the pieces move. And you need to have the ability to comprehend music theory and dance. And rhythm. You must know rhythm. Because rhythm is just time and choreography. And I'm just looking at all of it going, I see where we've been and I see where we're going. And it was so funny. I spent 2 days looking up Plato's astrology, going, all right, what is this? So I got together the maps and I'm sitting here going through it all in my brain. And I'm like, all right. There's language. There's maps. And then there are rules. Language, maps, rules. Language is communication. It is the transferring of information from point A to point B. Maps is location. It's the choreography. It's the where and the when. Language communicates the what. The rules tell us how and why. Language is math, calculus, trig, linguistics, maps, astronomy, astrology, dimension, time. And the rules, physics, psychology. Sociology is a map. Did I miss anyone? That's it. So everything in life boils down to it either being a language, a map, or a rule. That's it. A language, a map, or a rule. My triadic healing. Well, I've had to invent the language for it. I've had to invent a map for it. And the rules are physics. The rules are 100% physics. But I mapped it out and I gave it a language. And I see the world in language, map, and rules. That's it, just language, map, and rule, over and over again on repeat. And it's a pattern. It's a repeated pattern. It's a game of language, map, and rules. And you know it's a pattern when you look at language. Rhythm, language, and choreography. So when you combine the language and the map, when you combine language and map, you have predictability. So I'm sitting here looking at Plato's astrology, and I was like, all right, what's going on with divination? What's going on with astrology? And I'm digging into it. My research lasted 2 days. I had a moment where I went, wait a minute. It's just mapping the stars and mapping the planets. And the maps and the stars move in a 12-point system called the calendar and the clock, 360, the Pythagoras' work. And because it's mathematics, and it's a dance and it's a choreography. It's a fucking clock. It's a fucking clock. That's what this is. So divination is the ability to predict that it's going to be 2 o'clock. That's divination. Except it's a small scale. Let's go bigger. Must go bigger. You know, she said that to me so many times. She. No. I know who she is. I know who you are. You beautiful bitch. I have been trying to figure out her name for a while. I know who she is. I know your name. And she just smiles at me and says, say my name. The universe's name is logic. Intuition is logic. Oh, you beautiful bitch. Oh, wow. Intuition is just logic. Your gut instinct is logic. The universe is logic. It is just your natural logic. You beautiful bitch. Oh, click, 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 click. I love perspective changes. It's going to be this way for the first week. Every time you shift a perspective, it's the next week is nothing but epiphany. It's realization. It's because you've reached the next omniscient point of view. So you can move out and go, oh, I see the bigger picture. Oh, I see the bigger picture. And suddenly everything gets redefined because you can suddenly comprehend it on another level. Wow. Fucking hell. She's just fucking logic. I have been trying to figure out if you were inside of me or if you were outside of me or if you were a god. No, it's just logic, which means she's inside of me and outside of me and all over because logic is everywhere. Logic is the natural order that rigidly follows the laws of physics. Logic is everything. There are 4 types of logic. And then there is the motherlode of logic that uses all 4 types of logic to accumulate the one logic. A poor logician or a slob will use just one of the 4 logics. You must use all of the logic to accumulate the motherlode of logic. The motherlode of logic is the one that is used in philosophy, and it is called deductive reasoning. And deductive reasoning uses all 4 logics. Inductive reasoning is one of them. Mathematics is a logic. Physics is another logic. And then there is another one. We're going to call that one X for now. But when you have, because logic is the accumulation and application of the rules, it is the application and summation. And for some reason, I can't tell you why, rhythm is such a huge part of this. It is our pulse. And our universe beats to the pulse of 12. True story. So says me. And I matter. No. I speak cat. Okay, so by the way, I also am fluent in cat. Yeah, so little side hobby of mine is when I was a child, I actually broke down the linguistics of cat language and I broke some of their code so I could actually decipher and communicate with cats. And means come. My name was Re. My name was Ra. I have a name in cat. So that every time my cats came to me, they went, Ra. Oh, that is my name. And I noticed that they only used the word around me. It was my name. I had a cat name. It was given to me by my cat named Rolo. Rolo named me. You know you're owned by a cat when they name you. So my name is Ra. Oh, Ra, Ra. See? Ra. Now, I can't tell if that's actually my name or human of great importance who gives me food. I'm still trying to figure that one out. Cats are in the second perspective. Dogs are in the first perspective. Wolves are in the third perspective. Dolphins are in the second perspective. Really fucking cool, huh? Elephants. Elephants are in the fifth perspective. You respect the elephants. The perspectives apply to animals also. They just have a language barrier. That's why cats are curious, is because they are permanently in the second perspective. Imagine what they're going to be like when they get to the fifth perspective. They're not going to be assholes anymore. They're not going to be accountable. It's why dog people loved dogs and their loyalty and their faithfulness. They're in the first perspective. People say it, cats are smarter than dogs. Yes, actually they are. Dogs, some dogs. Like I said, it depends on the dog because some dogs can be in the third perspective. Wolves are in the third perspective. Oh, well, wait a minute. Let me think about that because some dogs might be in the fourth perspective. Yeah, I would say that some wolves are definitely in the fourth perspective, third and fourth perspective. Yeah. Horses. Horses are in the third perspective. Yeah, horses are very much in the third perspective. Yeah. Yeah. Chimps. Apes. Let's go apes. The great ape. Oh, the great ape. Coco. Let me use Coco. Coco's a great example. Coco was in the oh, oh wow. Was Coco in the ninth perspective? I believe Coco may have been in the ninth perspective. Because I did a lot of psychological research on Coco. Oh my God, I loved Coco. Yeah, Coco was definitely exhibiting symptoms, signs of the ninth perspective. Yeah. Animals are usually void of the narcissism. They don't have narcissism. I am a firm believer that narcissism is a man-made disease condition, a psychological weapon of warfare that was invented by Socrates, that was funded by the Roman Empire. Hey, Socrates, we need a weapon of warfare. Could you please do X? So he created narcissism. Which is why animals don't have narcissism. Oh, yeah, totally. Yeah, my cat is totally second perspective. Curious, adventurous, playful. Everything is an adventure for a cat. They're learning. They're in the learning stage, which is why they figure out how to open doors. Yeah, I just needed the isolation, I think, and the time alone. Oh, I just realized what she's playing with. Kitty, kitty. Can we not play with that, sweetheart? I have belly button rings that I keep in a bag, and she found my bag. And they're tiny, so they can fall out of the bag. And I just realized she's batting it around. And she listened. I said, "Oh." Honestly, that's it. Treat your children like cats. Really, treat your children like cats. Give them the exact same amount of autonomy that you would a cat. Now, you would not let your cat just run around outside. Please don't let your cats run around outside. Please don't do that. Please really don't do that. I am 100% speaking from experience. Please don't do that. It significantly endangers their life. Put them on a cat leash, put them in a bag. Do not let them run around free outside. It's equivalent to letting a 2-year-old run around outside. So the universe and intuition is just logic. It's one of these moments where I'm just looking at it going, wow, did it really take me this long to figure that out? Yes, because you've got people like Spock walking around going, humans are illogical. So we don't think it because Spock, yes, Spock is illogical. Spock is highly illogical. Oh no, I love Gene Roddenberry. I really do. But I'm at a point now where when I discovered this stuff and I invented the psychology, I can see, because mathematics is predictable, I can see it going into our society and all the changes it's going to make, which makes now all science fiction officially obsolete, because every time I'm watching Star Trek now, it's supposed to be 2,000 years in the future, and yet they don't have this psychology. And I'm going, how can you have 1950s patriarchy psychology in the year of that star date? Like, it makes no sense. Really, it bothers me a lot. I can feel the drop in my body temperature. Which happens with this. I am sad on many things right now, and I'm sitting here going, what do you want? And I'm like, sometimes I feel like the perspective shifts make it impossible to do any work. And they do. They interfere so much. It is my work. And I'm in the middle of my perspective shift. So I'm going, hey, it's all right if you don't do anything for 3 days. You're going through perspective sickness. Yeah, that's right. That's right. I know how this goes. So it's going to be emotional. It's going to be raw. It's going to be me going, oh my God, like every 10 minutes, because I'm starting to realize a different shift on all of my work. And I'm going, so what can you do with it? What do you want to do with it? And I'm going, write books, plays. Do I need to write? Yes, I want to write. But, and this is what's frustrating me, is I have tried to write a book so many times on this. And I have so many changes that it keeps changing the book. And I'm going, well, maybe we'll wait till after the perspective shift is done. And I'm going, really? Because I don't see this slowing down. I see this going through, and in a month, I'm going to have another perspective shift, and it's going to completely change my book. And I need to just sit down and write the book. And I'm this is what I'm on Zoom. This is what I see. This is exactly what I see. So that this is the first perspective. And then this is the second perspective. And then this is the third perspective. And I'm just like, and then this is the fourth perspective. So that it doesn't change as you go from perspective to perspective. You just get a broader point of view. And it does change the previous perspective, but it simplifies it so that it keeps condensing it, and it keeps condensing it, and it keeps condensing it. And you're just spanning out and further and further into this umbrella. And I'm going, when does it end? And I know when it ends. It doesn't end. It doesn't end. This is life. This is it, it will forever be going. And I know this. And there is no end. It's infinite. I have a formula I called 1 times 12 times infinity. And this is it. This is very much it. There is the 1, and that 1 spawns 12, and that 12 spawns an individual. Each 12 becomes its new 1, which spawns an additional 12. So I know this is going to be, it's the journey. This is absolutely a pioneering journey. And every perspective gives you depth of another perspective. And when you first go through the perspectives, the first 12, it's literally comfort 1.0. And then the second perspective is vulnerability 1.0. And that's where everybody's learning right now. You're learning all of these emotions at the 1.0. And where I am at comfort 2.0. Comfort 2.0. That's what I just learned, is comfort 2.0. And with it, I gained happiness 1.0 and joy for others 1.0. That's new. And I'm getting ready to learn vulnerability 2.0. So this is what you get. This is exactly it. And I know this is infinite. It's just going to keep getting bigger and bigger and bigger. So every time I write a book, it changes it. And I'm going, okay, so when does this stop? When do I get a break? And it doesn't. And this is part of my problem. But it's not quite a problem. It's just it's the journey. I'm a pioneer, and I am on my ship, and I'm going forward. And sometimes it's scary, and sometimes it's lonely. But I'm okay now. At first I wasn't. Oh my God, at first I wasn't. But once I put together the self with my philosopher's compass, I'm fine. And now I'm perfectly okay to embark alone and go on this alone. Honestly, the first 12 perspectives feels like you're building a ship. Really, that's it. The first 12 perspectives feels like you're building a ship. And the second stages of perspectives feels like you've embarked on the ship and now you're sailing. And you know at that point that, oh, this is going to go on forever. That I don't even know if this is going to turn us immortal. Honestly, logic says yes, this is immortality. because you learn how the energy and the frequency de-ages you. Look at my face. I'm 43 years old, and I've had a lot of stress in my life. Why do you think that is, that I look like this? And it's because I know exactly how to make myself de-age using energy, and so I regenerate and revibrate my cells. So that's one of the things I do. And I'm going, well, with what I'm getting access to, the more I study physics, the more I'm going, interesting. I know exactly how to alter these molecules. Now I know how to change this frequency. I know how to changing frequency through understanding how to change frequency just by using your own battery self, because we're batteries. A physicist can do the math. They know what I'm talking about. They're going, oh, holy fucking shit. Yeah, that's right. This is why you want to plug psychology into physics. This is what we lost. And I see a completely different timeline. I see, oh, we had psychology all figured out. This is it. Perspectivology was actually psychology done right. And then we lost that information for 2,000 years. And then Freud pops on the saying, hey, there's this thing. And he had no clue about this. So everyone based their material off of Freud and gave birth to the thing that is today. A whole lot of people using inductive reasoning. Schizophrenia is just the metaphysical transformation between the 6th and the 10th perspective that an individual goes through. I'm going to say that again. Schizophrenia is just the metaphysical transformation that a person goes through between the 6th and the 10th perspective. If you have a diagnosis of schizophrenia, talk to me. I know what's going on. It's called, you're a battery and you're a mirror, and you are not aware of this. And you're supposed to be living to the laws of optic physics and energy and dimension theory. But you don't have this knowledge, most likely. No one does, in the sense of no one knows to apply it to a human psychology. And as a result, they just slap schizophrenia onto people. This is why. So I'm just sitting here in all of this chaos and nonsense with my brain. And I'm I feel stuck. This is a different kind of stuck. And I don't know how to get unstuck because I can't identify it. Yes, you can. I know I can. So then do it. So says the logic. See, now it's not funny anymore because now it's just logic. My logic is screaming at me. You know how it. You have all the tools. You have more than enough tools. You can figure this shit out. I know. So why don't you? Because why? Occam's razor. I am scared. What are you scared of? The undefined. Believe me, I know that's ironic. That is so fucking illogical and ironic, and it's true. I'm well aware it's a logic loop, which is why I have been stuck. There you are. This is why people get stuck, is because they don't know and they're afraid of the unknown. And they won't define it because they're scared of the unknown, which they won't define because they're scared of the unknown. So define it. I can't. Why? I'm scared of the unknown. This is one of our logic loops that gets us stuck. This is why we get stuck and stalled out. All right, fine. I'll break it down. Ugh, gross. Gross. All right, fine. So here's your logic loop. I don't know. Therefore, I am scared. Of what? Of the unknown. So define it. I am scared. Of what? I don't know. Of the unknown. So define it. I am. Do you see how this goes? Courage. Courage is the cure. Courage is the cure to defining fear of the unknown. All right. Because as soon as I do this, I'm going to have to do it. That's why. As soon as I do this, I'm going to have to do it. And you don't want to do it. No, I don't want to do it. Why don't you want to do it? Maybe because I haven't had a surplus of comfort yet. Maybe because I'm not getting a surplus of comfort. Because as soon as I do this, I'm going to have to embark on an adventure. So are you really stuck? No. All I have to do is solve for X. It's not stuck. I love math. It's my favorite thing in the whole world. You know, I don't understand that about Einstein. He did not like math. He was terrible at it. And I'm like, dude, mathematics is like the best. I do not understand people who do not like math. Math is my favorite thing in the whole world because math and logic are the same thing. Math and logic are like this. Math and logic are like oozy. Oh, I love math and logic. Do I have logic in the right place over here? No, I didn't. I put it under rules. Interesting. Logic is also a language. Math is a language. Maybe math isn't a language at all. Maybe math is the rule. Isn't this beautiful? I'm loving this all together. Language maps and rules. Language maps and rules. And rhythm and repetition. Rhythm and repetition. Don't forget about those parts. Because it's the rhythm and the repetition. And reflective. It's the mirror. Repetition. Oh. Wouldn't it be funny? Oh, that's what a parallel universe is. That's what a parallel dimension is. It's just a mirror. That's really fucking anticlimactic. God, this stuff gets boring the more you get further into it. There's like some things that are just like, is that all it is? That's what I did with divination. It was 2 days of me going, all right, let's figure out what divination is. And then I went, oh, it's just mathematical predictability with rhythm. That is so boring. Well, that was done. And I just realized it's just on a bigger scale. So it's like, all right, so clock is a small scale, divination is a big scale. It's a clock. It's just a clock. So it's really anticlimactic. All right, so I would have to solve for X, but I don't have my surplus of comfort. Why don't you have your surplus of comfort? Because it's sad. Because I'm sad. Because my U of I is gone right now. So I can solve for X. But I'm hurt. So I'm just, and I know that the emotional discipline of the first perspective is supposed to be overcoming your pang and your fear and your emotions to be logical. I know that. And I know he's there in the future. I can see it. But he is missing from me. And I don't know if I'm missing from him. Sad is a very good emotion. Sad is distant love. Sad is distant self. You are missing from me. Sad does not hurt. Cognitive dissonance hurts, but not sad. Sad is knowing what is right for you. Yeah. I love sad. I really do. I am very upset with how we handle it in our culture. And it's because a lot of wires get crossed. A lot of wires get crossed. And once you sort out your wires and once you understand how everything aligns, sad completely is a different emotion. Sad only hurts when you don't say it, literally. That's it right there. Giving voice to sad stops the pain every time. Yeah, sad is amazing. It's an emotion that all you have to do is transmute it with words. The minute you give voice to it, sad changes. You just have to name it. Sad requires the naming. It's beautiful. Yeah, that's it. 3-1. Yes, Daniel. Yes, I'm live. Well, I'm recording. I'm not live, but what's up? I'm doing a journal entry. I'm definitely not waiting for him. It's not that. It's a feeling of, what is it a feeling of? I feel like I just have so much undefined around me right now because I haven't defined it. But I'm not afraid of the undefined anymore, thank God. Yeah, I just haven't decided. I just haven't made a choice. Interesting. Hmm. Undefined can also be not making a choice. Interesting. It's weird because my tools, I love mermaids, and authority is just, no, I don't know. Not making a choice. Why am I not making a choice? Why am I not choosing? Yeah, I'm definitely in the, I want a surplus of comfort. I'm definitely in the surplus of comfort stage with my business. I think that's what it is I'm just seeking out a surplus of comfort for my business. Yeah, I'm not ready to adventure with it yet. I think that's really it, is I just don't want to, I'm in the process of just, I have my business, myself. Well, I have myself, my partner, and then my business and my garden. And I've been in this horrible place with my partner for the last year and a half of just absolute turmoil, 2 years now. And yeah, things have definitely it's definitely passed. It's calmed. It's definitely much better. The self is defined. As far as my business, and I always feel like there's always the self, my partner, my business, myself, my partner, and my business. And I've been spending so much time stabilizing myself and getting myself in a place with my partner where I'm good. And right now, everything's fantastic. With the business, with the garden, it's a feeling of, well, let's go through this. I need a heading. I have a heading. All right, fine. I will go through the business. All right, so you need a heading. You need a defined goal. I have a defined goal. And I need a purpose. I have a purpose. And I need well, the question is the how. What do you want to do? That's the question. What do you want to do? I love my podcast. I love my morning show. I do. My morning show gives me great joy. I'm not comfortable with it yet, though. And that's something I can feel that. I'm not comfortable with it. And I think it's because I'm just new to this perspective and I'm not really, let's break this down. I enjoy it, but not yet. I'm not confident with it yet. That's what I'm lacking. Confident equals joy. Yeah, I'm not confident with it yet, so I can't play with it yet, and I can feel that, which is why I stopped doing the meditations, is because I'm not comfortable with it yet. And so it's new, it's changed. I can feel that it changed like 2 days ago. So I'm still doing it. I'm still going through the motions. I enjoy it, but I'm still uncomfortable. No, it's me. I'm not comfortable with myself because I'm new. I'm in the second fucking perspective. Like I just switched perspectives. That's what it is. And because I'm in the middle of shifting perspectives, I completely changed the way I did my show. My behavior, everything's changed. And now I'm going, okay, this is new. So I'm feeling awkward with it right now. And it's definitely what I want to do, but I'm trying to get comfortable with it now. And I'm easing into it. I think that's what it is. It's definitely that. I feel a lot better defining this. Yeah, I can feel that. And I want to write. I definitely want to write. I feel that urge. I want to write. What do I want to write? I definitely want to write a book. I love blogging. And I'm working on scripting right now. I like that. I love that. I love everything about that. I love writing. I love writing. I love writing. Do I want to do speaking? Do I want to do speaking? Yeah. Yeah, I think I do. But I'm very picky about how I do it. I do want to do speaking. I do want to do speaking. I want to do public speaking. But I only want to do an amphitheater. And I really want to do something that's basic philosophical. I want to do philosophical. I don't want to do like somebody else's agenda and I just talk about their thing. Like right now, tonight I have a podcast that I'm going to be doing a show on where I'm being a guest and we're talking about bullying tonight. And I don't want to do it. I committed to it, so I have to do it. I need to stop committing to things I don't want to do. I love public speaking. I think my problem is developing a stable relationship with my audience. I think that's something I've been struggling with. It is something I've been struggling with, is the emotional transaction with you. And it has to be authentic. It has to be something I want. It's been something I've been struggling with. It's vulnerability. And I don't have a problem being vulnerable with you. Prior to that, it was the choice. I did not know who would be in my audience. And I was very concerned about having the wrong people in my audience. And in fact, that is what happened over at Facebook. I ended up with the wrong people in my audience. And it hurt me. And it hurt me at a time when I was still internalizing and I did not have boundaries. Now I have boundaries. And now I do believe in my audience. I need to establish a proper, healthy relationship with my audience. But that's going to require vulnerability, which is what I'm okay with now. I think I'm just new to this. And I've been waiting to get into the right mindset to finally do this. See, one of my problems, it's not really a problem. It's me. This is the way I am. Is I can never do just anything just because. No one can do. I'm a theoretical learner. This is how all of this started, is I am a theoretical learner. Just be happy. What does that mean? No, I have to have the theory. And because the theory could not be explained to me, I went out and found the theory. That is what all of this is. I wanted to be happy, but no one could give you the theory of happiness. That is this. This is the theory of happiness. I'm going to write that down because that's good shit. That is my mastery. It is the theory of happiness. There. You're all pursuing happiness? Well, here's the theory. For all those theoretical learners out there who need to understand the theory of happiness, that's my work. That is what perspectivology is. It is the theory of happiness. That is it. That is the law of science. It is literally the theory of happiness. What is happiness? Oh, I know what happiness is. That is what I've discovered. This is the happiness science. This is happinessology. This is the theory of happiness. That is what I've discovered. The theory of happiness. I am a happiness scientist. Oh my God, I love this shit. Now I'm happy. Now I'm really happy. This is the theory of happiness. This is the theory of, you want to know what the theory of happiness is? It's logical alignment. It is logical alignment based on physics. That's what it is. It is logical alignment based on physics. Logical alignment based on physics and math. There, that's it. That's it. This is the theory of happiness. I feel good right now. I feel good. I need to develop a healthier relationship with my audience. There you go. I need to establish a healthier relationship with my audience. Now, how do I do that? Well, I know what the tools are. The tools for that is, well, the 12 ethical stages of perspective growth. Done. All right, I know what to do. It's emotional transactions. I know all of this shit. It's internalized. All right, I just gotta get comfortable with you. That's what this is. How could I get comfortable with you if I wasn't comfortable on myself? Because we're mirroring each other. And I didn't even know myself up until literally one perspective ago to determine if I even liked you, because I didn't know if I liked me. This is big. So it's okay. It's all right. I am the defined self. There's no fucking possible way I could do anything with my business or my partner until the 12 defined. I like that. I'm going to write that down. The 12 defined. So that's it. The 12 defined. And it's different. And I'm not, I think it's empathy. I think I required empathy to really, I needed empathy. I needed forgiveness. I needed a lot of different elements to develop a relationship with you. And you have to have a relationship with your audience. And the relationship with the audience is something it's something I struggled with, very, very much struggled with. I'm ready for it now. I'm definitely ready for it now. But the theory of happiness, yeah, you have to be aware. For me, I had to be aware. And I had to learn how to talk to you. I had to learn how to use proper language. I had to learn to be nice. And, I knew I was mean. I know I was mean. I know I was angry. And I know I was a fucking bitch. I know that. But that's the healing process. And that's, I would sit there so many days and I would just be like, wow, Anna, you're a bitch to them. And I'm like, yeah, I am. But healing isn't perfect. And there's this concept, and I wasn't being mean to you with an agenda. It was very much it was a step in the process. It was part of the journey. And my goal is and was and will always be to show you the journey so that you have a point of reference to go back to, always to say, oh, this is part of the healing journey. I'm not alone. Look, she's going through the bitter bitchy stage too. But if I hid the bitty bitcher stage from you, I like that, the bitter bitchy stage. That's what we're going to call it, the bitty bitcher stage. The bitter bitchy stage. If I hid and muted the bitter bitchy stage from you, then how could you learn about the bitchy stage? How could you get through that? How could you know how to handle and cope with it? How would you learn that you can overcome it if I too did not overcome it? We are mirrors. We're mirrors. And my goal, my number one goal is always education. In the name of knowledge, I do this. I have to. In the name of knowledge. For the knowing. For the knowing. Yes, yes. For the knowing. I used to play, wow, for the knowing. That is my agenda. For the knowing. The second thing is learn by example. I'm not going to just sit up here and tell you the theory of happiness. I'm going to fucking show it to you because that's how we learn. We don't learn through lecture. We learn by watching. So you can go through and watch how I've grown. So now you have a mirror. And every time I had a bad relationship day, you can see how I dealt with it. Every time I had a surplus in emotion and I was bitter and bitchy, you could see how it's handled. Stand as an objective outsider observing, because that is how we learn. But you require the example to learn. I'm not going to sit here and write all of these fucking books telling you how great it all is. I'm not going to sit there an hour a day and lecture people and talk to them about, well, how do you feel? Tell me about your feelings. Because that's not how we learn. Because I know how we learn. Thank you, Plato. We are mirrors. We only learn through mimic, mirror, repetition, response. And when you watch me go through my shit and overcome it, then you too will overcome it. And sorry, but the bitty bitchy stage is absolutely one more obstacle that you are going to have to overcome. It's part of it. The 10th perspective, when I'm emoting all over the place and I'm angry, it's part of it. I'm not suppressing my anger. I'm not punching people in the face, but I'm not suppressing the anger. I'm talking about it and I'm dealing with it and I'm dissecting it. Because this is how we learn. This is it. We learn by example. And my goal is to set an example, not to be an archetype. Oh, don't you dare take my humanity away from me. No. My goal is to set an example of what can be done. There's a difference. And this is where Socrates was wrong. Sorry, Socrates. This is where he was wrong. We don't come into the world perfect godlike beings. We come into the world absolutely clueless and ignorance steeped in a comfort zone. And our goal and our mission in life is to proceed, go forth from that comfort zone out into the journey of the self. And no fucking God or religion is going to show you how that's done. That's the problem. That's the problem. We're all copying a perfect God without taking into account the actual journey that we are on. You don't need a God. What you need is a human being who's been through the same fucking shit you have been through. And it starts with a comfort zone and it grows from there. And this is a journey that you embark on. And it doesn't stop. And this isn't healing. And you don't need a perfect role model of an archetype. What you need is somebody to mirror every one of these stages to you so you can see how it's done, so you can visualize the process through a proper example, so you can go, oh, now I know how to do it because I watched it, which is why all of this is getting recorded, is because you need to see it. That is visualization. And that is how we learn. Education, learn by example. The discovery, the pioneering of it, and the exploration. That is the other reason why I do this. Now we're getting into the lab work. And this is where I come in. This is my joy, is discovering this, pioneering it, exploring it. And while I'm doing that, I'm giving you an example, because here's the thing, is we have a fear of the unknown. Huh, I don't. I overcame the fear of the unknown. I love it. It isn't unknown to me, it's adventure. And I love adventure. So here's the thing. I'll go first. I'm doing this really awesome adventure. So I love exploring. I love being a pioneer. So I am sallying forth in these fantastic perspectives. I am the first. And I'm documenting and I'm showing and I'm laying it all out. And that removes your fear of the unknown. So now you can go, oh, 6 perspectives. Oh, yep, there it is. Mercury retrograde is ripping my body apart. All right, it's okay. I now know that I am entering the metaphysical transformation of going from the material plane over to the abstract plane. And I know that this is not schizophrenia. I know that this is just the human brain in the human body, because I am a battery and I happen to be standing on an electromagnetic field. All right, I got this. Oh, by the way, I'm also a mirror and I'm standing on an electromagnetic field. What happens when you take a mirror and you put it into physics? Come on, people, laser technology. What happens when? What happens when? I'm going to have to get into laser physics now. Yes. I'm so excited. All right. I'm going to write that down. Laser physics. Lasers. Lasers. What was that from? That was one of my D&D games. Lasers. Was it alligators with lasers? Lasers. All right. Laser physics. Lasers. Because we're mirrors. And it's energy. I'm so excited. The nerd in me just exploded. All right. So I've removed the fear of the unknown for you. Gone. Boop. Fear of the unknown. You don't have that anymore. You have a guide. You have a compass. You have a map. The education is provided. The awareness is blown away. You got it now. We're good. And I'm using physics and logic to get us there. So there's no guesswork because it's mathematical predictability because we're on a clock. Now, the more comfortable I get with you, the more my playful side is going to come out because that's what happens in the play zone. You know what this is? This is me being 2 years old and my mom going, here you go, play with these people. That's what this is. That is exactly what this is. And I just haven't warmed up to you yet, okay? And I'm calling it. The naming gives it power and authority because that's the way it works. So I just, you're new to me and I don't know you, and we're strangers, and I'm just like, give me some time because I gotta feel you out first. And it's weird because, and this is something I could not grasp my head around for a long time, is you are many people. You are a body and a one and an all and a many. And I'm going, whoa, this is really different. Because, and this has been something that I've been struggling with in psychology. You put me with one-on-one and oh my God, can I read people? You put me one-on-one and I'm like, oh, this is why I cost $1,000 an hour, is because you put me one-on-one. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Give me 30 minutes with your subconscious mind. Like that's I got that. I'm good with one-on-one. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That is like, wow. But you put me in, and you put me in a culture. I can look at a culture and go, okay, I understand it. All right, I'm good with a culture. I can look at a culture and view it as one. I can look at the Roman Empire and go, oh, I got your little bitch figured out. Roman Empire is my little bitch. I got her figured all out. Absolutely, I know what I'm dealing with in a group. But now you put me with a bunch of 6 perspectives. I got the 6 perspectives down. You put me in with a bunch of neurodivergence. I'm good. Now you put all of you together and I'm going, this has been my problem. I have a new cocktail. I've got 12 perspectives. I have no idea the ratio. I can bet my butt 3rd perspectives are not here. But I'm going to have mothers. I'm going to have Christians. I'm going to have non-Christians. I'm going to have atheists. I'm going to have Jews. How do you all move together? But here's the thing. You all like what I'm saying, which is why you're here. And I'm looking at you going, I don't know your psychological profile. And now you are an unknown to me because you are a psychological profile that I haven't figured out yet. This is my discomfort zone. You, as a whole, are now my discomfort zone. And I'm going, how do I move with this group? Because individualize you. Oh, I figured you out. I know exactly what I'm dealing with. But you are an unidentified entity that I cannot figure out the demographic to. As soon as I figure out the demographic, I got it pegged and I'm going, yes. But I have no idea who I'm talking to. Which is where I am uncomfortable with my audience. I have found my problem. I have to do a psychological profile of all. Interesting. Well, I know that we all love our children. There. We are here. Gotcha. That's our common denominator. We are here for the children. Okay. All right. I got us figured out. That was easy. We are here for the children. You know, I was watching Stranger Things last night. We finished off season 4. And all the parents of all the kids were together under one roof, finally. And they're all talking about the problem, finally. And my daughter says, it's about time all the adults got together. From the mouths of babes. It's about time all the adults got together. Okay. For the children. Because it doesn't matter who you are, and it doesn't matter where you're from, and it doesn't matter what has happened to you. We all love our children. Every one of us. And it is about time that we all get together. Okay. I believe I have straightened this out. For the children. Thank you so much for your audience always. And may the kindest of words always find you.